Very good morning, sir. Today is the day second of our inter revision. We are streaming live, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just. Good morning, all of you. We'll start the program. So, yesterday we have discussed standard costing. Standard costing. Yeah. Kalish. Yes, welcome. Yesterday we have discussed about standard costing. Expectation minus actual is equal to variance. Nothing but standard minus actual is equal to variance. Then, various types of standard you have come across. Where and all expectations are there and all variance will be there. So, expectation in the organization's point of view, the expectation with respect to income side and expectation with respect to expenditure side. With respect to income side, sales variance, and with respect to expenditure side, material, labor, variable overhead, fixed overhead, and sales fixed overhead variance. Now, income side variance, sales variance applicable only for finance syllabus. So removed from here. Expenditure variance only is supposed to remember. Material, labor, variable overhead, fixed overhead. Material overhead cost variance can be classified into total material overhead cost. Total material cost variance can be classified into material price variance and material usage variance. Usage again classified into mix and yield variance. You know, 1 minus 2, 1 minus 3, 1 minus 4, 4 minus 3, 3 minus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 are present. Standard quantity into standard price, actual quantity into actual price, actual quantity into standard price, revised actual quantity into standard price. So similarly, if you remember 1, 2, 3, 4 in the chart, the entire standard costing will come. The next thing we have come across, budgetary control. Production budget format is supposed to remember. Sales plus closing stock minus opening stock. So production budget is for finished goods, whereas raw material usage budget is for, or raw material consumption budget, and purchase budget is for input, nothing but raw material. These are all the things we supposed to have. Then we have discussed about material, setting of various stock levels, and the economic ordering part. Various stock level, you have to remember the formulas about. Formula for reorder level is equal to maximum usage into maximum lead time. For usage here represent usage of raw material. Similarly, next one, material reorder level. Thereafter, maximum level formula for the maximum leveling, reorder level plus reordering quantity minus minimum usage into minimum lead time. Formula for minimum level, reorder level minus average usage into average lead time, and formula for the average level, minimum level plus maximum level will be 2, or minimum level plus half of the reordering quantity. Danger level is equal to minimum usage into minimum time for emergency purchase, or minimum usage into minimum lead time. Instead of minimum, average or normal usage also we can be the portion to consider. Then economic ordering quantity with respect to EOQ, size of the order for which both ordering cost and the carrying cost are minimum are known as EOQ. Size of the order for which both ordering cost and the carrying cost are known as economic ordering quantity. So EOQ based problem, there are two types are there. One is formula based one, another one is tabular based one. When formula based applicable, all the informations are there, all the assumptions are hold to be out of the formula. With respect to tabular based one, when tabular based method is applicable, if the purchase price is not constant, nothing but discount is available in this question. Or if there is options available, then we have to solve it by way of tabular method. So these are all the few things you supposed to remember before you are going to attend material costing problem. Then always remember with respect to material, the usage represents usage of raw material, not finished goods. Then we can move for labor. With respect to labor, for your examination, you have to remember first one, time rate system, second one, piece rate system, next, wholesale system, and rowan system. I'll repeat: time rate, piece rate, wholesale, rowan. 4 formulas more than sufficient. You know the formula for time rate system: time taken into rate per hour. Piece rate system, number of unit produced into rate per unit. Rate per hour is different, rate per unit is different. Okay. Wholesale system, half basic plus bonus is equal to total earnings. Basic purely based on time rate system, time taken into rate per hour. Bonus is equal to half of the time saved into rate per hour. Half of the time saved. With respect to rowan system, total earnings is equal to basic plus bonus. Basic is equal to time taken into rate per hour. Bonus is equal to time taken divided by standard time into time saved into rate per hour. So these are all the formulas you have to remember. Wholesale bonus, half of the time saved into rate per hour. Whereas with respect to rowan, time taken divided by standard time into time saved into rate per hour. The two different formula alone is supposed to remember properly. Next. I'll post the question, kindly check it out. Hope you got the question. Yes. I'll read the question, kindly check it out. A company has its factory at 2 locations. Rowan plan is used at location A and the wholesale plan at location B. Standard time and the basic rate of wages are same for job A, which is similar and carried out at a similar machinery. Time allowed is 60 hours. Job at location A is completed in 38 hours, while at B it has taken 50 hours. Conversion cost at the respective place comes to rupees 2,500 and rupees 2,892 respectively. Overheads account for rupees 25 per hour. You are required to compute normal wage rate. So go through the question quickly. Now, shall we start? Speciality of this question is they are given conversion cost, that's the speciality. First, you should know what is called the conversion cost. Without knowing conversion cost, we may not be able to solve the problem itself. Conversion cost represents converting raw material into finished goods. To convert the raw material into finished goods, what all the costs we come across, those costs are called conversion cost. Now, with respect to conversion cost, we are having a raw material, we want to convert the raw material into finished goods. Therefore, conversion cost does not include material cost. Other than raw material cost, other than material cost is called the conversion cost. That you should be proper. Okay, even in MCQs also they'll ask the question, conversion cost. So, what are all form part of conversion cost? Direct wages plus direct expenses plus production overhead, if any, is equal to conversion cost. Clear? So, other than material is called what? Conversion cost. In this problem, what are all the elements available? Material cost not possible because other than material cost only will come. Then labor is there and overhead is there. Labor cost consists of basic plus bonus because one location they are following Rowan system, whereas in another job or another location they are following Halsey system. Am I right? Yes. Rowan plan is used in location A and Halsey plan is used in location B. Available data in this question you have to segregate. You can write particulars, location A and location B. Under the particulars, standard time 60 hours and 60 hours for location A and location B. Time taken in location A 38 hours, location B 50 hours. That is given in this question. So standard time, expected time minus actual time taken is equal to time saved. So time saved comes to 60 minus 38 is equal to 22 hours for location A. Similarly, expected time 60 for location B. Time taken 50, therefore 10 hours is the time saved for location. Overhead is equal to 25 rupees per hour. Wage rate per hour, that is what you have to compute. Let X is equal to wage rate per hour. They said wage rate per hour for location A and location B same. Therefore, let X is equal to wage rate per hour. Then, direct labor cost. Basic plus bonus is equal to labor cost. Basic is equal to time taken into rate per hour. Time taken in location A, 38. Rate per hour, we have considered X. So, 38 into X, 38X is equal to basic wages for location A. Whereas in location B, 50X. Bonus is equal to, in location A, they followed Rowan system. You know the formula for Rowan system. Time taken divided by standard time into time saved is equal to bonus. Similarly for location B, half of the time saved, because Halsey system, half of the time saved into rate per hour. So location A, time taken 38 hours, standard time 60 hours. So 38 hours divided by 60 hours into time 22, time saved 22 into X is equal to 13.933X. Whereas location B, half of the time saved. So 1 by 2 into 10 into X is equal to 5X. Now, if you make the total, that comes under what? Labor cost. Plus overhead is equal to conversion cost. Right? Overhead, they said 25 rupees per hour worked. Therefore, in location A, 38 into 25, 950. Whereas location B, 50 hours into 25 is equal to 1,250. So after adding conversion cost, the total cost after adding the overhead, total is called the conversion cost. Conversion cost 2,500 and 2,892. That is given in this question. So now we can go with the reverse side. Answer for the conversion cost is 2,500 for location A. Overhead is equal to previous line item. Overhead is equal to 950. Balance is equal to total labor cost. How much the balance? 2,500 minus 950 is equal to 1,550. So 1,550 represent what? 38x basic plus bonus 13.933x bonus is equal to 1,550. Clear? Basic plus bonus is equal to labor cost of 1,550. Nothing but 51.933x is equal to 1,550. Therefore, wage rate per hour comes to how much? 1,550 divided by 51.933 is equal to 29 rupees 85 paise is a wage rate per hour. Understood? Wage rate per hour. They said wage rate per hour for location E and location B same. If I'm going to apply the same, I have to get same answer. Am I right? That is what the wage rate, that is conversion cost has to tally. In conversion cost in location B, answer given in this question 2,892. Overhead 50 into 25 is equal to 1,250. Therefore, total labor cost is equal to 1,642. And wage rate remains same. Therefore, basic is equal to 50 into 29.85. And the bonus is equal to half of the 1/2 into 10 into 29.85. So basic wages 1,493 and bonus is equal to 149. Total comes to 1,642. So tallied or not? 1,642 plus 1,250 overhead is equal to 2,892. So both the side got tallied. Okay. So for your verification, note it down. Particulars, location A and location B. Basic wages 38 rupees into 29.85 is equal to 1,134. Bonus time taken divided by standard time into time saved into rate per hour is equal to 38 by 60 into 22 into 29.85 is equal to 412. Sorry, 416 is the bonus. Basic plus bonus is equal to total labor cost. Basic for A 1,134, bonus 416. Therefore, total labor cost comes to 1,550. Add overhead 25 rupees per hour into 38 hours is equal to 950. Therefore, conversion cost for location A 2,500 rupees. Similarly, location B we have to verify. With respect to location B, basic wages 50 hours into rate per hour remains same 29.85 is equal to 1,493. Bonus is equal to half of the time saved into rate per hour 1/2 into 10 into 29.85 is equal to 149. Basic plus wages, basic plus bonus is equal to labor cost. 1,493 plus 149 is equal to total labor cost of 1,642. Factory overhead 25 per hour. So 25 into 50 is equal to 1,250 rupees the factory overhead. So labor cost plus factory overhead is equal to conversion cost. 1,642 plus 1,250 is equal to 2,892. So conversion cost for location A 2,500 and the location B 2,892. Both are got tallied. Understood? It's a very frequently asked question. Most of the time, this question comes under the compulsory question. Any doubt in this question? Got it? Shall I go to the next one? Yes. Yes, Kalesh. Good. Kalesh from which place? The next important segment. Yeah. The next important segment is labor turnover. What do you mean by labor turnover? Change in labor force during a particular period of time against suitable index. Very good, Kana. Very good. Yeah. Change in labor force during a particular period of time against suitable index is called labor turnover. The labor turnover we have to express in terms of percentage. I think what inflow and outflow of labor force is called labor turnover. How many of them joining the office? How many of them resigning from the office? That is called inflow and outflow of labor force is called labor turnover. So, more labor turnover will, if labor turnover is more means company going to incur more expenses. Therefore, cost to the company will be high. So, lower the labor turnover is advisable, preferable. Next, with respect to labor turnover, terminology which is associated with the labor turnover, what are the terms you supposed to remember? Separation, replacement, new recruitment, accession, and average labor force. These are all the terms you supposed to remember. Separation represent what? Person separated represent what? Person left from the office, person discharged from the office is called separation. So separation represent left and discharge is called separation. Replacement represent what? One person goes out, another person joining the office. That is called replacement. Substitution is called replacement. Okay. New recruitment represent what? Additional number of workers joining the office is called new recruitment. That is what? New freshly joined is called new. Replacement means substitution. New recruitment means freshly joined people is called new. With respect to separation, old worker and new workers. Separation the person, old workers goes out. There is no question of new worker. Replacement, old workers goes out and new workers comes in. And substitution, old worker, in case of what? New recruitment, only new worker comes in. There is no question of old worker. So separation, only old worker goes out alone. Replacement means old worker goes out, new workers comes in. And new recruit, only new workers alone come. Now, number of new faces in the organization. With respect to number of new faces, either by way of new recruitment or by way of replacement. The number of new faces are called accession. 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 Okay. Then accession over. Last one is called average labor force because your formulas are all based on questions. The formula based on formula. The terminology should be based on terminology only. Formulas are there. Okay. Now, average labor force represent what? number of workers at the beginning plus number of workers at the end whole divided by 2 is equal to average labor force. Clear? Yeah. Based on that, we can solve the problem also. Okay. I'll post the question. Labor turnover based question is a important segment for the examination. Okay, college. Konishwaran. Yeah. Go through the question. Shall I start? Can I read the question? Listen again. From the following information, calculate labor turnover rate and the equivalent annual labor turnover rate. Number of workers as on 1st March 2010, 3,800. Number of workers as on 31st March 2010, 4,200. During the year, 40 workers left, while 160 workers were discharged. 750 workers recruited during the year of whom 150 were re-recruited because of existing, and the rest were recruited in accordance with the expansion plan. Also find replacement method. Okay. The past exam question. Let me go through the question. Shall we start? No. In exam, with respect to computation of labor turnover, there are two different methods are there. One is without expansion method. Another one is with expansion. With respect to without expansion, three different sets of formula applicable. Separation method, replacement method, and mixed method. In case of with expansion, separation, accession, and flux method. With respect to first set, separation method, a formula for separation method is S by L. Replacement method, R by L. Mixed method, S plus R by L. Okay. Then, similarly, with respect to with the expansion, what all the formulas are there? Separation method, accession method, and flux method. Okay. Separation S by L, accession A by L, or R plus N by L, and flux method S plus A by L or S plus R plus N by L. Okay. Now, shall we start? In examination, they won't specify whether the problem is based on with expansion or without expansion. So you should be careful. Okay. How to, because accordingly formulas also will vary. How to identify the problem is based on with or without expansion. If new recruitments are there, okay, additional workers are there in this question, then we have to solve the problem by way of with expansion. If there is no new recruitment, there is no additional number of employees, then we have to solve the problem by way of without expansion. So accordingly, formulas also varies. Okay. In this question, new recruitments are there or not? 750 workers were recruited. Clear? New recruitment is there. Okay. Therefore, we have to solve the problem by way of with expansion. Whenever with expansion comes into picture, what are the formulas applicable? Separation, accession, flux method. That's the reason in this problem they ask also find replacement method also. Okay, also find the replacement method. Because three formula only applicable, three method in the three items only available. They specifically told replacement also you have to come. Now, in case of without expansion, there is no need to find replacement method because automatically without expansion, the formula will come. Now, we have to apply the formula. First one is what? Separation method. Formula for separation method is S by L. S represent what? Number of separation. How much the number of separation? 40 workers left, 160 workers discharged. The left and the discharge is called separation. Comes to how much? 40 plus 160 is equal to 200 employees left and discharged. So separation is equal to 200. Divided by average numbers. What about the average numbers? Number of workers, L represent average workers. Number of workers at the beginning plus number of workers at the end, whole divided by 2 is equal to average. Okay. So number of workers at the beginning, 3,800. Number of workers at the end, how much? 4,200 divided by 2 is equal to average. Comes to how much? 4,000. So 200 divided by 4,000 into 100 because I have to express in terms of percentage. Comes to 5%. Yes. 5% answer. Next, accession method. Formula for accession method, A by L. A represent number of accession, L represent average labor force. A by L. Since we have to express in terms of percentage, multiply with the trend. A, accession comes to how much? 750 is accession. 750 were recruited. Out of which only 150 is there, therefore 750. Divided by average number of workers 4,000 into 100. Okay. Comes to how much? 750 divided by 4,000 into 100 is equal to 18.75. Yes. 18.75 is the answer. Got it? Then flux method, S plus A by L, A 750, separation 200 total. So 200 plus 750 divided by 4,000 into 100 is equal to 23.7. Clear? I think about 18.75 is the previous answer, and the 5 is a separation method. Total is equal to 23.75. Understood? Next. Replacement method also they ask. R by L, number of replacement by average numbers, average labor force into 100. 150 is the number of replacement that is given. Average numbers, average labor force 4,000 into 100 comes to 3.75 is the replacement method. So kindly verify. Separation method answer 5%. Accession method 18.75. Flux method 23.15 and the replacement method 3.75. Got it? Check it up with your answer. Next. One more requirement is also there. Shall we go to the next requirement? Equivalent annual labor turnover. What is called equivalent annual labor turnover? Converting labor turnover in per annum basis is called equivalent annual labor turnover. Converting labor turnover into per annum basis is called equivalent annual labor turnover. Shall we start? Same question, we have to solve it by way of equivalent annual labor turnover. Now, separation method we got 5% is answer. Answer for the separation method 5%. Equivalent annual labor turnover with respect to separation method is given data is 1st March to 31st March. Nothing but 31 days info. So 31 days info is equal to percentage is equal to 5% means for a year equivalently annual per annum how much? Therefore, we have to convert into 365 days how much? So 5 divided by 31 into 365 is equal to equivalent annual labor turnover. Got it? We'll go to the next one. Good. Similarly, with respect to access method, so what is the answer for 58.87? Yes. Then accession method, same manner. 18.75 is for 31 days answer. 1 year equivalent annual means annual per annum how much? So 18.75 divided by 31 into 365 is equal to 220.77%. 220.77%. Then flex method similarly. 31 days percentage comes to 23.75, whereas per annum for the entire 360 days comes to how much? 279.63. Got it? 279.63. Yes. Similarly, with respect to replacement method, answer for the replacement method we got 3.75. Am I right? Number of person replaced 150 out of 4,000 is average. comes to 3.75. Equivalent annual labor turnover 3.75 is for 31 days. Per annum 365 days comes to how much? 44.15. So answer for the equivalent annual labor turnover, I'll repeat once again. Separation method 58.87%. Accession 220.77%. Then flex method 279.63%. Replacement 44.15%. Got it? Good. Shall I go to the next one? Good. I'll post next question. Kindly go through. Question posted in chat box. Check it out. Got it. Shall we start? Yes. Kindly refer the question. PH Limited is a manufacturing company having 3 production departments, A, B, and C, and 2 service departments, X and Y. The following is the budget for December 2005. Particulars A, B, C, X, Y, and total. Direct material for A 1000, B 2000, C 4000, X 2000 and Y 1000. X and Y are service department, A and B is a production department. Direct wages, A 5,000, B 2000, C 8,000, X 1000 and Y 2000. Then factory rent, total column 4,000. Total expense of the power 2,500. Depreciation 1,000. Other overhead 9,000. Additional information. Area in square meter 500, 250, 500, 250 and 500 for A, B, C and the XY. Capital value of an asset 20, 40, 20, 10, 10 rupees in lakhs. Machine has 10,000, 2,000, 4,000, 1,000, 1,000 for A, B, C, XY. Horsepower of the machine 50, 40, 20, 15, 25. A technical assessment of the service department to production department apportionment ratio given. Service department X for A 45%, B 15%, C 30%, X nil and Y 10%. Okay. Next. Service department Y, A 60%, B 30%, C nil, X 5%, Y also nil. Requirement. A statement showing distribution of overhead to various departments. A statement showing redistribution of service department expenses to production department. Machine rate for production department A, B and C. These are all the requirements. Kindly go through one. Help you to produce a products are called indirect costs. Collection of all indirect costs are called overhead. Okay. Now, whenever you come across overhead, you have to remember the steps to solve overhead. Collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and recovery. These are the steps you are supposed to remember to solve the problem. What are they? Collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and recovery. Clear? What do you mean by collection? Collection is nothing but collecting the data, collecting the information is called collection. Collecting the data, collecting the information, that will be there in the question paper itself, you don't need to worry. Just collecting the info. Collected info only available in this question itself. Then classification represents what? Collected info you have classified into variable cost separately, fixed cost separately. How much is the variable cost and how much the fixed cost is called classification. Then allocation. What is called allocation? Allocation arises only in case of specific expenses. Transferring of specific expenses to specific department is called allocation. So, whatever the expenses incurred for the respective department, we got to transfer it. That is called allocation. Apportionment arises only in case of common expenses. Transferring of common expenses to all the department on suitable basis. So whenever apportionment comes into picture, we have to do what? Share the expenses among all the departments. If you want to share, always conflict will arise. In which ratio you have to share? For that purpose, we need suitable basis. What do you mean by suitable basis? In case of rent, how we can approach? Assume this building is an entire building is a company. First floor is a department A, second floor is a department B, third floor is a department C. Clear? Similarly, various departments are there. That common expenses, rent is a common expenses. Company as a whole paid the rent. that we have to apportion among all the departments. In what basis we can apportion? Area in square meter. Okay, how much the area? Accordingly, you have to apportion. Depending upon the area in square meter, we can apportion. Similarly, what is the next one? Supervisor salary. Company has a whole only one supervisor. We have to apportion the same. How we can be in the position to apportion? Supervisor salary. How many hours he spent? Yes, depending upon time spent by the supervisor. Clear? How many hours he spent? Accordingly, we have to apportion. Clear? Supervisor salary is purely based on time spent. Suppose depreciation. How we can apportion the depreciation? Value of asset is the criteria. Clear? So total value. How much the value involved? Value of the asset is the criteria. Are you with me or not? Clear? Suppose indirect wages. How we can apportion the indirect wages? Based on direct wages. So remember one thing with respect to indirect wages. In case of machine dependent industry, we can apportion based on machine cost or labor cost. In case of labor dependent industry, we can apportion based on direct wages. Depending upon the situation, or you can be the person to give the note also, so that we can apportion accordingly. Then, power, how we can apportion? This with respect to power, we can apportion based on power, we can apportion based on, yes, horsepower. How much the horsepower? We have to take further, you should be clear, you should be careful. Horsepower, total horsepower consumption of the every department is important. Horsepower. Sometimes machines horsepower given will be there, given in this question, similar to this question. How many machine horse worked, number of horse worked, that will be there. And machines horsepower will be there. Therefore, you have to identify total horsepower consumption. How to identify the total horsepower consumption with respect to respective department? Number of horse worked divided by, okay, number of hours worked divided by machines horsepower is equal to total horsepower we can identify. Based on total horsepower, we have to solve the problem. Clear? So depending upon the situation, we have to make this. So now we can kindly go through the question carefully. Okay. What type of question? First, whenever you come across it, we have to do allocation, collection, classification. Collected information is available. Classification, we have to classify the expenses to variable and fixed cost. That is also not clear. Allocation only for the specific expenses, apportionment for the common expenses. Allocation plus apportionments are popularly called primary distribution. Allocation plus apportionment is called one primary distribution. So we have to start with primary distribution. Shall we start? Therefore, the reapportionment is called one secondary distribution. Okay, good. So first we have to do primary distribution, statement of primary distribution. Note it down, statement of primary distribution. Particulars, basis of apportionment, department A, B, C, X, Y, and a total. Under the particulars, direct material directly available, therefore given. Department A, B, C, you have to write not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. Why? Because direct material is a direct expenses. We are in overhead. Whenever you come across overhead, you have to consider indirect expenses alone. Okay. Indirect expenses alone. So not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. You have to write only for X and Y. 2000 and 1000, total column 3000. Why only for X and Y? All the expenses of the service departments are indirectly help you to produce a product. Therefore, all the expenses of the service departments are indirect expenses. Understood? Then expense of the service department you can take as it is. Similarly, direct wages given department A, B, C, not applicable, not applicable, not applicable. X and Y, 1000 and 2000, total column 3000. Then factory rent. The next one is factory rent. Total factory rent is how much? 4000. That we have to apportion. In what basis you can apportion? Area in square meter. So area in square meter for department A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Accordingly, you have to apportion. Apportion based on area in square meter. 4000 you have to apportion. So 1000 for A, 500 for B, 1000 for C, 500 for X, and 1000 for Y. Is it right? Next. Power. Horsepower is the criteria in this question. Horsepower of the machine given and the number of hours machine worked is also given. So what to do? Number of machine hours into horsepower of the machine you have to multiply. In that ratio you have to apportion the 2500. So basis for apportionment is horsepower of the machine multiply with number of hours machine worked. That you have to multiply. Okay. Next one. What next? Basis of apportionment how much? A 500, B 800, C 800, good. X 150, Y 250. In that ratio out of apportion. So apportion, the answer is comes to this much. Yes. You got it? For WhatsApp group, I lost SICASA person. Okay, they'll do. Don't worry. Chandra Durga, and Kailash. Okay. Next. Power over depreciation. Yes. How much total value of depreciation? 1,000. Based on capital value out of option. Capital value. Assets value, nothing but. So apportion that ratio 200, 400, 200, 100, and 100. Next, other overhead that apportion based on machine hours. Because machine dependent industry, in general, we can apportion based on direct wages. In case of machine dependent industry, we have to apportion based on machine hours. Okay. Totally 9,000 apportioned amount for department A 1,000, department B 2,000, department C 4,000, X 1,000, and Y also 1,000. That's all. Find total overhead A, B, C, X, and Y. 2,700, 3,700, 6,000, 4,750, 5,350. Kindly check it up. Chandra Durga, got it or not? Polish. Next. Next. So allocation plus apportionment is called the primary distribution. Now we have to go for secondary distribution. What is called secondary distribution? Reapportionment is called secondary distribution. So statement of reapportionment. Particulars A, B, C, X, and Y. Under the particulars, total overhead that you can copy paste from the previous table, nothing but primary distribution table. 2,700, 3,700, 6,000, 4,750, and 5,350. We have to apportion service department expenses to production department. Transferring of service department expenses to production department is called reapportionment. So service department X expenses 4,750. that we have to apportion among A, B, C, and Y. In what ratio? 45 is to 15 is to 30 is to 10 ratio. Apportion 4,750 in that ratio. 2138, 712, 1425, and 475. Hope you are noting down. Similarly, department Y's expenses you have to apportion. Department Y 5,350 plus that 475 previous column. Total 5,825. That we have to apportion among the remaining department A, B, and X. 60 is to 35 is to 5 ratio. Comes to 3,495, 2,039, and 291. Now Y's expenses become 0. X is having 291 surplus. Then next department X apportion, X overhead you have to apportion. 291 you have to apportion. 45 is to same ratio. 45 is to 15 is to 30 is to 10 ratio. 131, 44, 87, and 29. Now department Y is having 29 rupees. Again we have to apportion. Y is expense we have to apportion. The 29 rupees, 60 is to 35 is to 5, 17 rupees, 10 rupees, and 2 rupees. Can do rounding off. Again, the 2 rupee you have to apportion between department X, 2 rupees you have to apportion. After rounding off, 1 rupee for department A and the C 1 rupee. Right? So all the service department expenses has been apportioned to production department. So total make it total. Total comes to department A 8,482, department B 6,505, and C 7,513. Goa. Next, we have to compute Mishna rate, collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and recovery. So, recovery represent what? Recovery rate per hour. Total overheads of the production department by number of hours is equal to recovery rate per hour. Okay. So total overheads of the production department 8,482. Department B 6,505 and C 7,513. Divided by number of hours comes to 1,000, 2,000 and 4,000. So recovery rate per hour 8,482 divided by 1,000 is equal to 8.48. Similarly, second one 3.25 and department C 1.88 is the recovery rate per hour. Over. Good. Small break. After the break, we can finish. Yeah. Shall we start? Shall I go to the next problem? Yes. Question is there in the chat box. Yes. Go through the question quickly. While I go through the question, I'll read the question. Gemini Enterprise undertakes 3 different jobs, A, B, and C. All of them require the use of special machine and also the use of computer. The computer is hired and the hire charges work out to rupees 4,20,000 per annum. The expenses regarding the machine are estimated as follows. Rent for the quarter 17,500. Depreciation per annum 2 lakhs. Indirect charges per annum 1,50,000. During the first month of operation, the following details were taken from the job register. Job A, B, and C. Number of hours the machine was used without use of computer, A 600, B 900. With the use of computer, A 400, B 600, C 1000. We are required to compute the machine hour rate from the firm as a whole for the machine when the computer was used and when the computer was not used. Nothing but with the use and without use of computer. Okay. Then for the individual job A, B, and C, we have to identify. The 2 elements are there. Okay. Shall I go through? Shall I start? So with the use of computer and without use of computer, we have to identify mission hour rate. Working note 1. Total mission hours used. Totally how many hours? 600 plus, 900 plus, 400 plus, 600 plus 1000 is equal to 3500 mission hours. Total mission hours with the use of computer comes to only computer with computer. 400 plus 600 plus 1000 is equal to 2000. The overheads of the machine per month, rent, how much? This is for per month info. For rent, totally 17,500 for 3 months. Understood? Therefore, per month 5,833. Next. Depreciation 2 lakhs for the per annum basis 2 lakhs. Right? 2 lakh divided by 12 is equal to 16,667 is a depreciation. Indirect charges 1,50,000 by 12 is equal to 12,500. Total comes to 35,000. Got it? So, with respect to machine not used without use of computer, total overhead 35,000 divided by number of hours. Total number of hours comes to 3,500 hours. 600 plus 900 plus 400 plus 600 plus 1000 is equal to 3,500 hours. So for 3,500 hours, 35,000 rupees incurred. Therefore, overhead rate comes to how much? ₹10 per hour. Okay. Got 10 rupees. Next. Computer hire charge is given in this question. 4,20,000 by 12. 4,20,000 per annum, that by 12. For number of hours, 2,000 hours computer has worked. Therefore, hire charges for the computer for 2,000 hours, 4,20,000 by 12 is equal to expenses. Per hour rate comes to 17.5. Therefore, mission hour rate without use of computer 10 rupees, with use of computer 10 plus 17.5 is equal to 27.5. Got it? So, summary, mission hour rate for the individual job. Particulars, job A, B and C. Without computer at the rate of 10. Number of hours 600, therefore 6,000 rupees. For B, 9,000 rupees. C, nil. With the computer, 27.50 into 400 for A, 11,000. B, 27.5 into 600, 16,500. C, similarly, 27.5 into 1000 comes to 27,500. Got it? Next. What about the total for A 17,000, B 22,500, C 27,500? Mission hour rate is equal to total work divided by number of hours. 17,000 divided by 1,000 is equal to 17 rupees per hour for mission A. Mission B 25,500 divided by 1,500 is equal to 17 rupees for mission B. And C 27,500 divided by 1,000 is equal to 27.5 for mission C. I'll repeat mission hour for respective job A 17 rupees, B 17 rupees, whereas C 27.5. B 25,500 divided by 1,500. Right? Got it? Go through, quick. Check it out. Good. Shall I get the next problem? Okay. Copy nature. Next question. The previous question based on mission hour rate. Next question in posting in the chat box. Go through the question, click on them. Shall I start? Yeah, I'll read the question. Kindly verify. PQR Pen Limited, Pens Limited, manufactured two products, gel pen and ball pen. It furnishes the following data for the year 2017. Product gel pen, annual output of the gel pen 5,500, total machine hours 24,000 hours, total number of purchase order 240, and total number of setup comes to 30. Whereas in ball pen, annual output 24,000, total machine hours 54,000, total number of purchase order 448, and total number of setup comes to 56. Annual overhead rate are under. Volume related activities cost 4,75,020. Setup related activity cost 5,79,988. Purchase purchase related cost comes to 5,04,992. Calculate the overhead cost per pen for each product, gel pen and ball pen, on the basis of traditional methods of charging overhead, activity-based costing method, and find out the difference in cost per pen between both the methods. Shall we start? We'll go for the first requirement, traditional method. Now we are in activity-based costing. Yes. ABC is an advanced level of overhead. Overhead is advanced level of ABC. You know, whenever you come across overhead, you have to do collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and recovery. These are all the steps you're supposed to follow. But if we go by way of traditional absorption costing system, identification of true value of the product is difficult. Real cost of the product is difficult. True value and real cost of the product is difficult. So, we've emerged with a new technique called activity-based costing. ABC is not a new method, it's a new technique to ascertain the cost. You know, methods of costing, job costing, batch costing, contract costing, joint product by product costing, process costing, those things and all methods. But this is new technique to ascertain the cost. With respect to new techniques, why new technique arises? There should be some problem with respect to old technique, then only new technique comes into picture. What would be the problem with respect to old technique? In old technique, collection, classification, allocation, if you go by way of traditional absorption costing, finding real cost of the product is difficult. Okay? True value of the product is difficult. To overcome the same only, or what? For finding real value, even to identify non-validated, validated, non-validated cost identification, we need what? This particular costing. Okay. So, based on this, resource consumption is a criteria for the purpose of apportionment. How to identify the resource consumption? Purely based on cost, object, and cost driver. Cost, object, and cost drivers are the criteria for ascertainment of cost instead of cost center and cost unit. Cost center represent what? Location, person, item of equipment, or combination of all for the purpose of ascertainment of cost and for the purpose of controlling the cost is a cost center. Cost unit represent unit of product or service or time or combination of all for the purpose of expression of cost and for the purpose of controlling cost. Okay, so cost center is different and the cost unit is different. Cost object represent cost object na what purpose I am going to incur the cost is called the cost object. How I am going to incur the cost is called the cost driver. There are two types of cost drivers are the resource cost driver and the activity cost driver. Cost driver na active center of a business organization enters into the special task is called responsive center unit. So based on the responsive center, cost center, profit center, revenue center, investment centers are there. Here we have to go by way of cost object and the cost driver. Item for which the cost measurement is secured is called the cost object. The factor that causes a change in cost of an activity is called cost driver. Are you comfortable? Now, first we can solve by way of traditional absorption costing. That's what the first requirement. In traditional absorption costing, either mission hour or labor hour is a criteria for ascertainment of cost. Here, mission hour data available, therefore mission hour rate is a criteria for ascertainment or apportionment of cost. So, statement of computation of overhead recovery rate per unit under traditional absorption costing. Particulars, gel pen and ball pen, 3-column table. With respect to this working note we need, working note, overhead rate per mission hour comes to total overhead divided by number of mission hours is equal to mission hour rate. What about the total overhead? Volume related activity 4,75,020. Setup related activities 5,79,988. And the purchase related activity 5,04,998. Therefore, total overhead is a combination of all that. Divided by number of hours 24,000 for gel pen, mission hours 24,000 for gel pen. Ball pen comes to 54,000. So 15,60,000 is a total overhead. Divided by 78,000 hours is equal to recovery rate per hour, rupees 20 per mission hour. So 20 rupees per hour. Therefore, number of unit produced, gel pen 5,500, ball pen 24,000. Divided by overhead comes to 20 rupees into 24,000 hours and 20 rupees into 50,000, 54,000 hours for gel pen and the ball pen respectively. Overhead comes to how much? 4,80,000 and 10,80,000. Therefore, recovery rate is equal to 4,80,000 by number of unit 5,500 units is equal to 87.27 is the overhead recovery rate per gel pen. Whereas ball pen 45 rupees. How come 45? 10,80,000 divided by 24,000 units is equal to ball pen's cost. Got it? Shall we do the next one? Similarly, we have to prepare for activity-based costing, right? ABC. Shall we go for ABC? With respect to ABC, steps to solve ABC you have to remember. Like overget, we are having steps: collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment, and recovery. Here also we are having steps. What all the steps you supposed to remember? Identification of various activities in the organization. Classification of activities into primary activity and supporting activity, if any. Compute cost pool for each activity. Compute cost driver for each activity. Yes. Compute cost driver rate. Cost driver rate is equal to cost pool divided by cost driver. Based on cost driver rate, you have to apportion the cost. Got it? Now, here, kindly identify what about the various activities. Here, various activities are. First one is what? Volume related activity. Then setup related activity. And the purchase related activity. 3 activities given in this question. Am I right? Cost pool for the volume related activity. 4,75,020. Setup related activity 5,79,988. And the purchase related activity 5,04,992. Then cost driver for the activity, volume related. To produce a product, we need a machine hours. Therefore, we can take machine hours as a volume. Or number of units also the correct answer. Either based on number of units or machine hours. Number of units means 5,500 plus 24,000 total is the cost driver. Whereas machine hours means 24,000, 54,000 hours. Right? The cost driver. So if you take machine hour is a cost driver rate is equal to 4,78,020 divided by total number of hours. If you go into apportion between gel pen and the ball pen, 1,46,160 and ball pen 3,28,860. Hope you are noting. Next line it. Setup related cost based on number of setups. Total overhead 5,79,988. Cost driver number of setups comes to A 30, B 56. In that ratio, if you are going to apportion, gel pen 2,02,321, ball pen 3,77,667. Purchase related activity, number of purchase order is the criteria. Cost to pool 5,04,992. Cost pool represent total cost. Purchase order 240 into 448. Therefore, cost driver rate is equal to 3 lakh. For cost driver rate, you have to apportion based on the same to gel pen comes to 1,76,160. Kindly verify. And 3,28,832. Right. Fine, total cost. Total cost for gel pen comes to volume related, setup related, and purchase related comes to 5,24,641. Whereas ball pen 10,35,359. Total cost by number of unit is equal to cost per unit. Number of unit 5,500 for gel pen, ball pen 24,000. So cost per unit comes to 95.39 and 43.14. Is it right? Check it out. Good. Still not coming. Completed. You too. Good. Shall I go to the next one? One more requirement is also there. What? Comparison, right? Yes. With respect to comparison, particulars gel pen, ball pen, overhead cost per unit under traditional method 87.27 and 45. Ball pen overhead as per ABC 95.39, 43.13. Difference comes to 8.1 to 1.87. First case negative 8.12, right? That is what? Less. Whereas another one 1.87. Right? Yes. Reason for the difference. What could be the reason for the difference? First one, in traditional absorption costing, cost center and cost units are the criteria for apportionment of cost. Cost center and cost units are the criteria for apportionment of cost. Now we are explaining the difference, why the difference has happened, reason for the difference. Cost center and cost units are the criteria. Whereas in ABC, cost object and cost drivers are the criteria. Cost object and cost driver. Second reason for the difference. In traditional absorption costing, time is a predominant factor to incur a cost. Time is a predominant factor to incur a cost. Predominant factor, yes. Whereas in ABC, time is a one of the factor to incur a cost. Time is a one of the factor. First one, time is a predominant factor. Whereas second one, time is a one of the factor to incur a cost. Next one. In traditional absorption costing, activities are broadly classified into two types. In traditional absorption costing, activities are broadly classified into two types. One is unit level activity. Another one is facility level activity. Unit level, another one is facility level activity. Okay. No problem. Whereas in ABC, activities are broadly classified into four types. Unit level activity, batch level activity, product level activity, and facility level activity. I'll repeat: unit level, batch level, product level, and facility level. So due to that only, the difference has happened between traditional absorption and costing and ABC costings, cost per unit. Okay. Got it? Any difficulty? Good. Next. Go to the next one. Next question. I'll post it in chat box. Interesting question. Kindly go through the question quickly. Shall we start? Can I read the question? It's getting late. XPI Limited furnishes with the following information relating to process 2. Opening WAP nil. Unit introduced 42,000 units at the rate of 12. Expenses debited in process. Direct material 61,530. Direct labor 88,820. Overhead 1,76,400. Normal loss 2% of input. Closing WAP 1,200 units. Degree of completion material 100%, labor 50%, overhead 40%. Finished goods output comes to 39,500 units. Degree of completion of abnormal loss material 100%, labor 80%, overhead 60%. Units scrapped as a normal loss were sold at 4 rupee 50 paise. all units of abnormal loss were sold at 9 rupees. Prepare process account or necessary account. Can we go through the question? Most important question. Will we start? Yes. What type of question? This question is based on equivalent production. Yeah. Before we solve the problem, you should know what is called equivalent production. With respect to equivalent production, it's accounting with converting inequivalent production unit into the equivalently completed units are called equivalent production. This is for the purpose of better valuation of stock. Formula for the equivalent production is number of physical unit into percentage of completion is equal to equivalent production. Whenever you come across equivalent production, you have to remember the steps to solve equivalent production. First one, identification. First in an equivalent identification for input-output quantity reconciliation are two. Second one, percentage of completion under the equal unit of production. Third one, cost per unit of equivalent production. Next, valuation. What is valuation? Valuation of WAP, closing WAP, valuation of output transfer to next process, valuation of abnormal loss or abnormal gain if any, and last step, prepare processor. These are all the various steps you have to know to solve equivalent production. Clear? So based on these steps only, you have to solve the problem. In examination, they won't specify whether the problem is based on equivalent production or not. Because even if you see in this question, they said prepare process account, that's all. Whenever they ask you to prepare the process account, you can't draw mere process account alone. Because the problem is based on equivalent production, you have to follow all the steps. Input, output, quantity reconciliation, percentage of completion, equal unit of production, cost per unit of equivalent production. We have to do the valuation. Thereafter only process account is possible. In this juncture, how to identify the problem is based on equivalent production or not? Whenever degree of completion, whenever WAPs are there in this question, whenever work in progress available in this question, we have to solve the problem by way of equivalent production. If WAP is not there, then mere preparation of process account. In this problem, WAP given in this question or not? Degree of completion and WAP and all available. Okay, closing WAP 1200 given in this question. Right? So whenever WAP is there, we have to solve it by way of equivalent production only. So this question is based on one equivalent production. Are you comfortable? Then, with respect to equivalent production, two methods are there to solve. One is FIFO method, another one is weighted average method. Again, in examination, they won't specify the problem is based on FIFO method or weighted average method. You have to identify depending upon the availability of the information. How to identify the problem is based on FIFO or weighted average? if you want to solve the problem by way of FIFO method, we need degree of completion for the opening WAP. The sense degree of completion for the opening WAP is not given in this question. We can solve the problem only by way of weighted average. The degree of completion for the opening WAP is given in this question. We can solve the problem by way of FIFO method also. So depending upon the availability of the data or availability of the information, we have to solve the problem. So in this question, degree of completion for the opening WAP given in this question or not? Not available. Right or not? Okay. Why? Opening WAP itself nil they said. Therefore, FIFO method not possible. We have to solve the problem only by way of weighted average method. Understood? So now we are going to solve the problem by way of weighted average method. For the kind information, what is the first step I said? Compute input-output quantity reconciliation. Second step is percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production. The first two steps are popularly called statement of equivalent production. Understood? The first two steps are called one statement of equivalent production. Clear? The statement of equivalent production can be classified into two: input-output quantity reconciliation, thereafter percentage of completion under the equivalent unit of production. Okay? Good. Go through the question quickly. Okay? Good. So, this problem in detail you have to discuss. So, refer equivalent production and the steps to solve equivalent production theory. Thereafter only we can be the question to understand this question solution part. With respect to process costing, minimum 10 marks, maximum 14 marks is applicable for this examination. So kindly refer the theory and the concept. Thereafter we can discuss tomorrow. Okay, equivalent production concept. It's a lengthy problem. So hope you enjoyed today's session. We have learned labor costing today. In labor costing, Halsey formula, Rowan formula discussed. Then equivalent annual labor turnover also we have discussed. Right? Then we move to overhead. Overhead collection, classification, allocation, apportionment, reapportionment based one. Then mission hour rate also we have solved them. Okay, for problem mission hour rate also. Then advanced version of overhead is called ABC. ABC based problem we have solved. Then we are moving to process costing, equivalent production. Okay, kindly study and come equivalent production theory. We can discuss tomorrow. Bye. Hope you enjoyed this session.